Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight on the Now Bakersfield. They've been buzzing around Bakersfield and other major cities for months, but just how safe are electric scooters? One study has found a recent spike in injuries. And the Kern County mountains have seen freezing temperatures lately and residents have run into issues heating their homes. However, relief is on the way. And downtown Bakersfield will be decorated with chrome this week, all for a good cause. See how you can get involved in Cruisin for charity. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Chris?
Here's a look at your lineup this Monday here on the Now, and you likely don't think twice about leaving a review online, but more people are getting threatened with lawsuits over this. We're taking a look at what your rights are. Plus, high childcare costs are a struggle for so many families. We're breaking down a new proposal that could reduce some of that stress. And credit repair offers, they may sound like a good deal. We have what you need to look out for and what you should be doing on your own.
Good evening. Electric scooter companies have swept across the country, providing quick and affordable ways to get around. However, there's a concern about a reported spike in injuries. Eva Pilgrim looks into the issue.
It's a hot trend.
Feel the wind blowing in my hair and just cruising down the street.
Electric scooters popping up in cities all over the country. Share services like Lime and Bird exploding, making these cost-effective and environmentally friendly scooters easier to get. But with the growing popularity,
I don't think it was anything specifically we saw. It was an outbreak of scooter-related injuries.
Austin, Texas has more than 10,000 scooters, according to Taylor. But he says soon after the boom, medical providers and city officials started asking questions.
They were seeing or hearing about scooter-related injuries, but we had no idea of how many were occurring a day or a week.
With no current national database tracking scooter accidents, Austin Public Health now plans to team up with the CDC to try to learn more. Their recent first-of-its-kind study finding some surprising trends, including most scooter accidents didn't involve another vehicle.
It's people who riding it who may have a collision with the curb or a post or a pothole.
In San Antonio, this woman thrown to the ground after being hit by an electric scooter. One Dallas rider says her first ride quickly took a turn for the worse.
I was going probably a little fast. I hit where the trolley exchanges, face first, like over the scooter.
Other major cities like San Francisco, Denver, and Los Angeles all struggling to deal with the growing trend, issuing temporary bans on the scooters in the past. Many of those bans have since been lifted or overturned. In Austin, the city planning to use the information from this new study to make new regulations.
That was Eva Pilgrim reporting. Scooter company Lime says they're working with local governments and riders to educate people about scooter safety, while Bird says they are encouraged that the CDC is examining the impact of scooters within cities. Officials say very few of the riders that were injured as a part of their study were not wearing a helmet. Tehachapi residents have been without heat for several days after stores across the valley came up short on heating pellets. Businesses say because of the harsh winter weather, they've gone through more than triple their normal supply.
This year we've went through 26 pallets compared to last year where we only went through 6, and we keep them year round. This year the demand is outweighed our supply. This is a much colder year, not just for Tehachapi and California, but for the rest of the United States.
The pellets are compressed wood that can be fed into a wood stove and are used to heat up houses that do not have centralized systems. Recent storms have meant plunging temperatures in Tehachapi, creating a massive demand for heating pellets and not enough supply. The Pioneer True Value store says they ordered 1,300 bags of pellets and couldn't keep them on the shelves. However, help is on the way. A fireplace service company in Tehachapi called The Heat Source, which is located on South Street, says they're receiving a shipment of heating pellets tomorrow morning. But because of demand, there is a 5-bag per person limit. The Heat Source opens at 9 a.m. The building may have been around since the 1930s. However, the Fox Theater is shining bright and looks good as new. Over the weekend, crews worked on restoring the signature neon sign that adorns the Fox Theater clock tower. In recent months, the lights had been dimming, prompting the theater to kick off a fundraising campaign. They raised thousands of dollars, reaching their goal in February. Now, thanks to the support of the community, the 89-year-old tower is shining bright across downtown Bakersfield. What's better than a hot stack of pancakes covered in butter and syrup? Well, a stack of pancakes that helps kids in need, of course. Tomorrow at IHOP, it's National Flip It Forward Day. Tomorrow, IHOP restaurants across the country will participate in the Flip It Forward for Kids campaign, where the restaurant gives away free pancakes from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. While the short stack is free, people are encouraged to make a donation to help charities for children overcoming illnesses. Some of the charities who will benefit are the Children's Miracle Network and Shriners Hospitals. There are 3 IHOPs here in Bakersfield.
When you leave an online review, do you ever stop and think that you could be sued because of it? Well, our investigative reporter Jace Larson found that threats of lawsuits against reviewers are happening more often.
There are reports of black ice on major roadways.
Stay off the roads.
Liz Griswold thought that she was signing up for a fun night out.
My friend and I had signed up to go to a singles event, which was a ghost tour / pub crawl.
But the weather became so bad that she didn't feel comfortable venturing out. So Liz tried to cancel hours before the event. And when she couldn't get her money back, she unhappily wrote a review. We wasted a total of $65 to sit at home because they refused to cancel the tour.
And after that, the company started harassing me.
Texts requested that she take the review down. And then days later, this threatening letter arrived.
This letter constitutes a notice of intent to sue.
It came from an attorney's office.
It's a class 4 felony or blackmail when a person threatens another or his or her property or reputation.
Are they accusing you of extorting them?
Yes, they are.
Letters like the one she received are intended to intimidate.
Free speech expert lawyer Steve Zansberg says he's hearing of this becoming more common. And sometimes businesses have no intention of actually suing.
The effort is made to merely intimidate the customer or reviewer into pulling down the negative comment with no real intention of ever going forward with a suit.
Liz's letter came from a New York law firm. Or did it? We checked out the address outside of Manhattan and found this house. We've also discovered that sometimes when you do business with a company, they put a non-disparaging clause in the fine print. This family was sent to collections after the company they reviewed fined the family for supposedly breaking that clause. Was your review truthful?
Yes.
Did you defame them?
No.
Liz says she's not taken her review down and the company hasn't come after her again. But all of this made us wonder, what can you generally say in a review to make it less likely that you'll have problems later?
As long as you are stating the truth of what happened, you can't ultimately be on the hook for defamation.
Instead of saying the waiter never checked on us when you probably did get your bill at some point, say the service didn't live up to my expectations. For a home repair review, don't say I don't think he's licensed. Be specific. Say the pipe was still leaking after the plumber left. And don't say that a doctor is an incompetent surgeon. Say, I still have pain in my knee. The bottom line, tell the truth and you're good.
All right, good information there, Jace. Thank you. Let's get back to our lineup here in childcare. It's a cost that so many families struggle with, but next on the Now, the new proposal that could reduce some of that stress. The White House's 2020 budget released today includes money to help pay for childcare. Annie Taylor's here to talk about what that could mean for families.
The cost of childcare affects so many parts of a family life, and today's proposal to alleviate some of the stress includes a one-time $1 billion fund. States can apply for the money to help support facilities or even encourage new ones, especially ones that operate at non-traditional times of the day or non-traditional places. So, for example, an employer who wouldn't normally offer in-house childcare. Childcare costs eat up a significant part of a family's budget. A Care.com survey found the average cost of daycare for one child for 1 week is $211, but an in-home nanny is double that, $580 a week. And it's not just the money. The cost of childcare is affecting people's life choices. In a New York Times survey about why people are having fewer children than they'd like, a lot of them said it was because childcare is too expensive. And 63% of people in that care survey said the cost of childcare influenced their career decisions. So clearly it's a huge issue for a lot of people. So we'll be watching to see if that budget passes with that child care help in it.
All right, Annie, thank you. Let's get to the Now newsfeed. Doctors concerned about vaping misconceptions, especially in parents. A new study says many parents don't realize that children can still inhale nicotine secondhand from e-cigarettes. Experts say that vaping should have the same secondhand rules as cigarettes do around the house. Well, just take a look at this, a massive cocaine bust. Yeah, we're talking just 3,200 pounds worth of cocaine found in a shipping container at the Port of New York, the largest cocaine seizure there since 1994. And an emotional ceremony for a nursing student diagnosed with cancer. Julie Harless went back to school to become a nurse at age 50. She was recently diagnosed with stage 4 lung and ovarian cancer. Her classmates learned that she wasn't expected to live to their graduation date, which is next year. So what did they do? They decided to bring the ceremony right to her bedside.
Wow, incredible. Well, he's been playing to crowds of thousands since the 1970s, taking the stage with legends like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Now Jackson Browne is returning to Bakersfield. That's right. That was just a piece of one of Browne's most famous songs, Doctor My Eyes. Browne, who has previously taken the stage of the Fox, will now be rocking out at the Rabobank Theater. Tickets for the show go on sale this Friday, March 15th, and start at just $39. Browne will be here in Bakersfield on Sunday, August 11th. It is that time of year again when downtown Bakersfield is glittering with shiny chrome for the 3rd annual Cruisin for Charity car show. This year's car show is being presented by Salty's Barbecue. The show, which starts on Thursday and runs through Saturday, brings together local car and truck clubs to raise money for local organizations. If you're interested in showing off your ride, there's still time to register. So far, Cruisin for Charity has raised more than $40,000 for charities like Honor Flight, the Boys and Girls Club, Valley Children's Hospital, and more. Bakersfield police say the car show will prompt several road closures. For a full list of roads that will be impacted, just head to our website, turnto23.com. All right, well, let's take a live look outside at downtown Bakersfield. Can you believe it? Last week, it was dark. This week, it's nice and light out, Allison.
I know, this is so nice. We get that extra bit of sunshine, and it's going to be feeling very nice as we head into the later portion of the week because we do have a warming trend on the way. But before that, we are tracking a system that is bringing some wraparound moisture up into the Kern County mountains this evening. So we have a weather watcher, 23 ABC weather watcher Jennifer Emmett, that sent a photo of Pine Mountain Club that we did see some light snow sticking because temperatures are below freezing in that area. But we are tracking this system bringing some light rain, you can see, and that snow falling at some of the higher elevations. That is going to be continuing into the early morning hours tomorrow. The best chance to see some of that rain actually going to be in our desert cities. But then we are going to be clearing out for most of your Tuesday and drying out. Very calm winds to start your afternoon, but then those winds are going to be picking up, potentially gusts reaching up to 55 miles per hour. That does bring up a wind advisory beginning at 2 p.m. tomorrow, continuing until 5 a.m. on Wednesday, impacting the Kern County mountains as well as our desert cities. So just make sure that you are driving safely because that could bring up some potential hazard travel for those high profile vehicles. But temperature is going to be holding on just below those seasonal average, 66 degrees as a high in Bakersfield tomorrow, 51 into Hatchville. catastrophe and another day of good air quality. We'll have an AQI of 43 here in the valley. So let's take a look at these temperatures. On the back end of this next system, dropping down to 61 degrees, but then warming up to 70 degrees by Friday, 77 by Sunday, and then look at this back-to-back 80s by Monday and Tuesday. Spring is definitely around the corner, so it looks like for at least the next 8 days, we are tracking dry conditions. Looks like our next storm moving into the county by next Wednesday. Chris?
Look, it is hard to put a price on the joy of owning a dog or a cat, but you really might not be prepared for all the expenses that you didn't see coming when it comes to your animal. Pet Finder found that a cat or a dog can cost you as much as $2,500 in the first year, which does cover basics like food, vaccines, leashes, crates, flea, tick, heartworm medications. You know, the stuff that you normally think of buying, but what you may not have considered is that you could be paying, say, a pet deposit or higher rent each month because of your animal. If you go on vacation or you need to travel for work, a pet sitter or boarding, that can run between $15 and $40 a day. Then, of course, there are the unexpected trips to the vet, and those add up really quickly. Well, that's where pet insurance may help. That can run between $10 and $70 a month, depending on what kind of cat or dog you have, as well as their age. You also want to be sure you read the fine print. Most don't cover any sort of pre-existing condition. Now, you might be better off setting up a pet savings fund or putting a little aside each month for emergencies. Well, new phone prices, they seem to be skyrocketing. And a refurbished phone, well, that might be more in your budget. Consumer Reports says that if you buy refurbished directly from Apple and Samsung websites, you're essentially getting a used phone restored to almost brand new. Now, they do come with a warranty. You want to make sure that you get that no matter where you buy your phone. Consumer Cellular, eBay, and Amazon, they're also good places to start shopping. Now, spring, of course, just days away, and we all know it is a great time to clean the house, maybe reorganize things a little bit, and Annie Taylor is showing us some great ways to spring clean our health.
One of the best parts about spring, more sunshine.
Having sun exposure before noon has been scientifically proven to help you with mood and with sleep.
Kate Johnson, a family medical practitioner, reminds us that sunblock is a must for your skincare regimen. The higher the SPF, the better.
Even though we can get some vitamin D from the sun, we can also take that with a supplement and protect your skin.
Come spring, there are plenty of new fruits and vegetables in season, like apricots, asparagus, strawberries, and artichokes, just to name a few. Unfortunately, when nature is in full bloom, that means allergies are too. So before they strike, stock up on nasal sprays.
You want to hop on those right now, and I recommend dosing them at bedtime.
When taking care of your health this spring, it's time to ditch the "I can't exercise" excuse.
If you're not an exerciser currently, starting with walking is a fantastic way to go. And I like to tell my patients that, just walking 5 minutes a day is a great start, and then we can build on that as we go.
Remember, no matter the season, sleep is key. Don't let anything come between you and rest.
Phone time right before sleep can interfere with falling asleep.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
All right, Annie, thank you. And the first solo female superhero movie did not disappoint at the box office. Captain Marvel making more than $455 million worldwide. But maybe more important, well, it's the amount of girls, 250 of them, who got to see that movie for free this weekend, thanks to donations from Girls Inc. Los Angeles and the empowering messages they left with.
Even though they told her that she wasn't ever going to be able to be any better and how they would put her down, she still tried to push herself through it. She still stood up and she still did it for herself.
It sets an example for our young girls, and especially me, since I'm growing up and I'm going to college. It makes me think that I can be anything I want to be.
Yeah, and Girls Inc. also blew through its goal of raising money to send the girls to see that movie. We still have so much more to talk about today here on The Now. And credit repair offers, they may sound like a good deal, but we have what you need to be looking out for and what you really should be doing on your own right now. apart. Now, this is more of a texture issue. It is not a food safety risk, they say. Well, this could be the future of debit cards. Take a look at this. A British bank trying a card out that has a built-in fingerprint scanner. The goal is to make the cards more secure, so really no more signatures and no more PIN numbers. We do talk a lot about scams that are designed to steal your money because really who can afford to lose money? Well, Andy Taylor's here with an offer that even if it's from a legit company, you probably don't need.
Next to the balance in your bank account, your credit score is probably the most important financial number. And if you're on the low end, you know it can cost you in higher interest rates or even rejections for buying a car or even renting an apartment, which is why an offer to help bring your credit score up may be appealing. Credit repair businesses are different than credit counseling. They can review your reports for any issues that may be driving down your score. They can dispute errors and in some cases, get negative items removed. So there are a lot of credit repair scams out there to be aware of. Legit credit repair agencies, though, give you a contract and don't collect money until they've delivered on services. But scammers will do things like ask for fees up front. They may even ask you to dispute negative items on your credit report, even though they are true. Or they could tell you to apply for an employer ID number to use for loan applications instead of your social security number. So unless you have a lot of errors, it's probably not worth paying for credit repair, according to Credit Karma. But you can reach out to credit agencies on your own and use that money to pay down debt instead.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. And the sport of climbing, it's getting more and more popular. Even if you don't do it, it's crazy to watch. And that's why tomorrow on The Now, you're going to meet a man who has been filming climbers for 2 decades. We're going behind the scenes with him to see what it takes to bring the world of climbing to the big screen.
And coming up after the break, we are enjoying the longer hours, but when the next storm system is rolling through and when we could be seeing the 80s.
As we head into the evening hours, we are tracking a storm that is bringing some wraparound moisture. So that means some light rain for our mountain communities, and in the higher elevations, they could be seeing some accumulating snow up to 1 inch. We do have some reports of that snow down in Pine Mountain Club at this hour. So you can expect this to continue throughout the very early morning hours tomorrow. And then for the next 3 days here in Bakersfield, looking at just a 10% chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, dropping down to 61 degrees. But look at this, up to 69 by Thursday, 70 degrees by Friday, 77 by Sunday, 80 on Monday and Tuesday. Can you believe it?
No, not at all. What an amazing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Monday is normally like the hardest day,
but
you got conditions. Yeah, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.